Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them in. Yeah, we got another one of these shows. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So, LeBron has been making all kind of headlines, right? And yesterday, he made some news on the show that we did where he was being connected to this whole NBA scandal with Damon Jones and all of that. And we did a show about that. So I thought that that was going to be the major story that kind of dominated the airwaves. But there was another story surrounding some comments that Jeff Teague had to make about LeBron James. Now, Jeff Teague has had a pretty interesting 2025 with LeBron James because Jeff recently got in trouble about 2 months ago or so, where he came out there and made some comments that had the whole entire internet talking. Essentially, he said that LeBron James was using, PEDs, right? And he was adamant about it. No, man, I remember this and this and this and this and this and this. So less than 24 hours later, Jeff T goes on his Instagram live and posts, not his Instagram story and posts, man, y'all are some weirdos. I was just joking. Although prior to saying that, he said he was not joking, right? Fantastic. So he then comes on the next day and he's like, oh no, I'm playing, and everybody's looking at them like, yo, bro, you looking like a bozo right now, man. Like, I don't understand. And by the way, why did you feel the need to apologize unless you guys are working with him or beholden to him? I'm confused. Why would you apologize unless you felt like what you said? Because I think the only reason he could probably apologize was because maybe he could improve it. Right. But I think he did say allegedly. But anyway, so that happens. So then yesterday, a clip starts to go viral all over the internet of some comments that Jeff Teague made on his podcast. And in these comments, Jeff Teague was essentially saying, we saw this post on Hooper, right? And the thumbnail said, leave LeBron alone. And he said, Jeff Teague spoke on what happens if you say anything, in this case, negative, about LeBron James. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what Jeff Teague had to say here, and then we're going to come back and continue all the show. Take a listen to what Jeff Teague had to say here.
Fact. But bro, the moment I said anytime you say anything about Bron, people call you and say, hey man, you might want to chill. I know you got some funny stories and hey, leave LeBron alone. I'm like, God damn. Okay. I came on here and apologized. I'm sorry. I'm talking these some real people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you're funny and you getting a little too funny. All right, my fault, brother. So I know ain't nothing getting by they whole camp. They run the league. That whole camp run the league.
Yeah, bro. They too plugged in. For somebody not to know an inkling to something, I ain't say they do an all-out play. I just feel like somebody, bro. If not, then that's one of the most...
Rich Paul, AD agent.
Yeah. That's one of the most covert operations in NBA history.
You gotta know.
Somebody knew something. I don't know who, what, but somebody knew something. Even if they didn't know it was going to happen, when, what, where, why, somebody knew something, bro.
So you heard what Jeff Teague had to say, right? Now, first of all, I'm not surprised by this at all. Right? I'm not surprised by it. And a lot of people already said this. I've even heard Skip Bayless say these guys have a lot of power in them. So no one is surprised by this. I don't think he's making any news. And also based on his reaction after what he said on the Club 520 with a podcast, it was clear. Like, it was clear. The about face was just too obvious. It was too sudden. It was too obvious. It was like, bro, come on. Like knock it off, right? Like, just knock it off. And actually, if I read through some of what people are saying, it says, one guy says, hold up, wait. You don't have to show this. It goes, one guy says, hold up, wait. Didn't Stephen A. say the same thing? But y'all bash Stephen A. Smith for saying this. Another guy said, do all these podcasts talk about LeBron? They don't have any other topics to talk about. And one other guy said, and leave Bronny alone. Another guy said, Bron weak as hell. He gets protected like a child. Another guy. You got another guy said, who is the people that called you? And another guy said, none of y'all would say this in that man's face. Internet got y'all tough. Another guy said, that's power. Yeah, he over there. He happy about that. And then a few other another guy said the LeBron James Mafia and all of that. Look, bro, it's obvious, man. It's obvious, right? It's obvious. You can literally watch NBA players' lips quiver whenever it comes time to address these kind of topics. You can literally see their lips shaking like a squirrel in the winter, man. Like they just we know what it is, right? We know what it is. But given the fact that he just said that, I have noticed a bit of a shift. Even with all of that power, things have been coming out about LeBron over the last 2 weeks now that generally wouldn't come out in the past. You know, it just generally wouldn't. You saw Stephen A. Smith get at him mercilessly. You saw the article, the story about the excerpts from this book that's being written about Russell Westbrook calling him fake and this and this and this and this. You heard yesterday all throughout the internet he was named in connection to this scandal. So these are things in the past that wouldn't come out. And I think, just my take on things, is that it has to do, at least a little bit of it has to do with the fact that LeBron has made it clear that he wants to be a competitor to the NBA. And if you're going to be a competitor to the NBA, and the NBA is like, well, wait, I thought we were partners here, then you're on your own. You're not going to get the cover of our protection and all of that. So, you know, I think that's probably at play here. Jeff also sounded a bit salty in that clip. I'm not going to lie to you, because in the beginning, Jeff Teague was twerking it up for LeBron. Let's be like, yo, that's the business model, man. When you want to make it big in sports media, especially if you're a former NBA player doing a podcast, you got to twerk, man. You got to shake. And in the beginning, he was twerking. Everything is Braun this, Braun that, Braun this, Braun that. And then you made the mistake and said the wrong thing about Braun. And then all of a sudden, his whole energy changed. Right? Obviously, and I think Club 520 is owned by Shannon Sharp Media, Shade Media or something like that. So what's the connection there? Who knows, man? Who knows? But this is the game you play, you know? This is the game you play. You go out there and say that, you got to apologize for it. You know? You got to apologize for it. And that's what he did. In terms of them running the league and all of that, man, it's probably true. All right, it's probably true. I'm not connected to NBA circles like that. I don't know people like that. So I can't verify that, but I have heard people say that. You know, I have heard people say that. And Jeff Teague, man, you know, next time just watch what you say, bro. You know, watch what you say. Right? Watch what you say. It's open season. Y'all can get at Stephen A. Smith. You can get at this guy. Hell, people talk more greasy about Michael Jordan than they do LeBron James. Like that. Now that's crazy. Right? And Jordan has a way bigger brand. And they talk crazy about Jordan. And you don't hear any of these stories, but you talk about this guy, all of a sudden the boogeyman going to come knocking on he's going to come knocking on your door. And you're going to answer when he rings that doorbell. Trust me. These are my thoughts, man. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. I'm out. Peace.